dinosaurs, space battles, pay to win. Why is that always a thing? But today, there's a lot of gaming news. If you're a fan of dinosaurs or the early noughties, you'd be really excited about this first news story about the first actual in-game footage being released for Jurassic World Evolution. Now, they say it's in-game footage because there's a little bit of subtext that says in-game footage. I don't really know. You don't actually see any interactions with anything. It could just as well have been rendered. It could have been pre-rendered and then sold as in-game footage, but they say it's in-game footage, so who are we to argue? If this is what the game is gonna look like, it's quite exciting. I really loved the first Jurassic World game. It's like a roller coaster tycoon-esque thing where you build like a Jurassic Park of your own. It's really fun, and hopefully they don't ruin it with this new one. The game is said to be released at some point next year. They don't specify anything more than that. There's recently been some leaks around the release date of the new AMD Navi architecture. Now, if you're a bit confused about that news because, well, Vega released just now, and you can't find them anywhere as it is, why are they already leaking news around their new architecture? Then join the club. But apparently, according to AMD, even after all of the hyping they did for Vega, just before the Vega release, they said, oh, well, Vega's not actually the one to be that excited for, it's Navi, that's the one that's a really big deal. So now they're starting the hyping of that. According to this release schedule, it's going to be released between some point in July of 2018 and August in 2018. So in other words, they're actually going to release it in May of 2019. And it's going to be hugely underwhelming. I mean, let's give them some credit. Their CPUs have been doing really well lately, but their GPU releases have been pretty disheartening, and yeah, they've just been playing catch up to Nvidia. And now with some more gaming related news, the actual release date for Star Wars Battlefront 2 is creeping ever closer, and all of the rumors around pay to win packages in them is creeping ever stronger. So it looks like EA has already ruined the game before they released it. So let me get this straight. With the first Battlefront, they had a great concept for a game, or a great kind of idea around the package of Battlefront, and then they ruined it by having pretty much no content in the game at release time. I don't know what the state of the game is now, but everybody lost interest about a week after it was released. And now they're ruining the second one before they've even released it with pay-to-win packages, which just ruins any multiplayer-based game. Especially if you're paying EA prices for a game, which is usually like $500 for the game and like $700 for the season pass thing, which means that you can kind of play all of the game. And now with all of that out the way, you still have to buy power-ups in the game. I don't really know what horrible heroin addiction EA is trying to fund, but it must be really getting out of hand. And now a last two final shorter stories to round off the week. First of all, there are rumors going around the internet, and you know, it's a rumor on the internet, so it means it must almost definitely be true, that Intel is going to be using AMD Vega graphics in one of their up-and-coming mobile APUs. Now, this rumor has been going around for not a while, but it's made its rounds on the internet. And I was really skeptical initially, and I'm still very skeptical now, because this latest kind of refresher to this rumor is a pretty particularly dodgy looking slide that's been released, which is apparently an official Intel slide, but it's kind of been taken from a kind of secret cam in somebody's tie 3 years ago, so it looks a bit dodgy. And then finally, Nvidia has announced a new AI GPU processing pack for self-driving cars, which is really exciting because it means that this actual processing unit might actually enable self-driving taxis to kind of cart people around, which would be really cool. One of the biggest problems with the actual AI processing for self-driving cars has always been that the actual processing pack is so huge that it's really difficult to stow anywhere, and it uses a lot of power, which for electric cars could be an issue. But this latest one is actually about the size of a license plate, apparently, which kind of alleviates some of those problems, and it's way faster. So apparently it's going to enable level 5 autonomy in cars, which is the highest level. This means that you're not going to need a steering wheel or any pedals or anything in the car, because it can just take care of itself. What was the most exciting for me about this announcement, and I haven't seen this connection drawn on the internet yet, but in the announcement they stated that this pack was going to be released halfway through next year, alongside their next line of GPUs. So this is not an announcement, but there's kind of a hinting at the actual release date of the next generation of NVIDIA graphics cards. And if this is an actual hint at that, it means we're still going to be waiting a while. And with that, this is the end of this episode of This Week in the Tech News. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, do press the like button. You can comment, leave some comments about some facts that I got wrong. That's always really exciting. And please subscribe to the channel for more This Week in the Tech News every Wednesday.